A mower built the same year as Woodstock just started on the first pull, not the second, not the third, the first. It's outlasted the company that made it by over a decade. Here's the part nobody expects. This brand didn't die because people stopped buying it. Dealers were still selling it. Owners were still swearing by it. It died anyway, and the company usually blamed for killing it wasn't even trying to. Two forces collided on one small engine. Neither one was aiming at the other. The company behind the first lawn boy wasn't a lawn company at all. It was Evinrude, the outboard boat motor maker. Their real mower was the first one-handed push mower ever sold to American homeowners. A year later, Evinrude absorbed Johnson Motors, forming Outboard Marine Corporation, OMC. Then World War II hit, and OMC's factories switched to building motors for the military instead of mowers. After the war, a machinist named Jack Doyle built one of the first rotary mowers in the country out of Missouri. Sears wanted in, so did Gambles and Spiegel. OMC watched the orders stack up and bought Doyle's company outright in 1952, then stamped the Lawn Boy name onto the rotary deck. That's the exact moment the brand people remember was born. The reputation, though, came from the engine. OMC's D400, nicknamed the Iron Horse, ran from the mid-50s to the late 70s, small, air-cooled, brutally simple. Then in 1970, Lawn Boy dropped a redesigned two-cycle engine that undercut every four-stroke rival on the market. Lighter, more power per pound, fewer parts to fail, no valves to adjust, no oil reservoir to drain. Mix the gas, pull the cord, mow. That wasn't a shortcut. It was the entire sales pitch. Here's the part most owners never think about. A two-stroke fires on every single rotation of the crankshaft. A four-stroke only fires every other one. That's the whole secret behind the power-to-weight ratio people loved. But that same trick, burning oil straight in the combustion chamber every cycle, was quietly building a problem no engineer at Lawn Boy could redesign their way out of. Fast forward to the late 1980s. OMC wasn't just making mowers and boat motors anymore. It was buried in debt, and a company that desperate doesn't sell to a stranger. It sells to whoever's already circling. In 1989, OMC sold Lawn Boy for $98.5 million to the Toro Company, its most direct competitor on store shelves, not John Deere. That claim shows up online constantly, but it's wrong. Toro's own corporate history confirms it, and so does every independent record of the deal. By 1992, Lawn Boy's operations were folded into Toro's Minnesota headquarters. On paper, a lifeline. In practice, the scrappy underdog now lived inside the walls of the brand it used to outsell. Here's the twist almost nobody covers. The Toro sale wasn't the death blow people assume it was. The real threat was already sitting in a federal filing cabinet in Washington, D.C., and it had nothing to do with who signed the paperwork. The EPA ran the numbers and found something staggering. Small engines under 25 horsepower, the exact class every lawnmower falls into, were producing roughly one-fifth of America's hydrocarbon pollution from mobile sources, cars included. Phase 1 emissions rules hit in 1997. Phase 2 followed in 1999, phasing in through 2007, targeting almost a 60% cut in hydrocarbon and nitrogen oxide output. California's Air Resources Board had already been tightening its own version of these rules since 1990. A two-stroke burns oil in the chamber by design, which makes it dirtier than a four-stroke by design, too. Lawn Boy didn't fold. In 1998, they answered with the DuraForce, a 6.5 horsepower two-cycle engine engineered specifically to meet the new federal standards without abandoning the two-stroke identity. For a few years, it actually worked, running across everything from entry-level Silver Series mowers to commercial units. Ask owners about it today and the answers split hard. Some call it the strongest two-cycle mower engine ever sold to a homeowner. Others call it a carburetor nightmare that ate ignition coils for breakfast. Either way, it was Lawn Boy's last real fight, a two-stroke engineered to survive inside a four-stroke world. It didn't survive much longer than that. Compliance costs kept climbing, redesign demands kept piling up, And across the whole industry, manufacturers quietly abandoned two-stroke mower engines for automotive-style four-stroke designs. Lawn Boy went the same way. By 2012, Toro had pulled manufacturing away from the brand entirely, folding what was left into its own product lines. So what actually killed Lawn Boy, Toro, or the EPA? Neither one, alone. OMC sold because it needed cash, not because it wanted the brand buried. Washington wasn't writing rules to target Lawn Boy. It was targeting an entire category of engine that Lawn Boy had built its WH.